usually, if they're known to social services, they would have like a translator.
Yeah.
And from when we get,
If they're known to social services, this is you see, if they don't have the language, you know, they may not do that. I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I don't know.
Yes, all Gujarati speakers, they're the third in the country, and Tamil, we're the top.
wow,
So it's fast.
Tamil is Sri
Sri
Lankan.
Lankan,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Sure.
Wow.
Yes. So a lot of Tamils came here as refugees. Oh, wow, that was good. Those go with copying really well. Thank you. Is anybody else having something? Come on, we have to take it.
Have to have coffee.
I'll have some coffee actually.
27 now, and they didn't discover he was autistic until he was 23. Yeah. The mom just always thought he's slow. But then a friend said, you know something, go and check him out. And then that was how they found out.
Yeah. Well, I know somebody who's, I mean, I only know them very vaguely because I've met him, but he's been married for 40 years, and they always thought he's a little bit eccentric. And he's over 60 now, and has just been diagnosed that he is, you know, he's autistic. And they just thought he was a little bit odd. That's all his life. But I mean, 60 years ago,
Nobody.
did they know?
Nobody knew.
What autism, you know, they didn't know.
Nobody
So,
knew about it. That's
yeah,
true.
but yes, and his poor wife has been putting up with this, you know, all on her own. So it's yeah, but now she knows. And I'm not sure that she's getting much help with it. But yeah, it always seems to me that, you know, it's a real difficult job looking after somebody who's autistic. Especially the really bad ones that you can't communicate with. As well.
And she probably does it better than anybody else they could send in.
Oh yeah, she does. I mean, she's well.
But she knows
coped-
everything,
Yeah, she's coped with it. But I mean, it's only there's a sort of a scale, isn't there? And there's
It's a
mild,
spectrum,
yeah. And then, But I mean, what sort of training do you get?
There's all of the mandatory training like health and safety, manual handling, but there are other specific trainings as well, like autism, challenging behavior, because majority of people who are autistic, they are challenging in different ways. So they have challenging behavior, epilepsy, medication training. Because some of them, when they come into the day center, they have PRN, so we have to be able to administer it properly. What other trainings?
So you've all done sort of first aid courses.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
The training teaches us, this training should be a last option.
Yes.
That should be the last option.
Yeah. But sometimes it's necessary. I mean, do you practice on each other? That's what these things do. The police.
Organisations.
We do that in training.
I know several organisations, and one I work for a lot had a no restraint policy.
Really?
Doesn't mean they don't talk to people or let them sit on the floor or lay on the floor and stay with them, but put them down on the floor they don't do.
Right, and what if they become violent?
Well, because their techniques are to calm them down. Isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, can I just say something? I understand what you're saying, but
Yes.
sometimes those techniques, they're good on paper. But in reality, sometimes you may actually need to physically restrain a person. Like I've worked in companies where they'll say, if a client becomes challenging, don't restrain them. And then the company ends up spending thousands of pounds every month because the client is breaking all of the computers. So what they've said now is only restrain them as a last resort. And that's why because you can restrain a person and it can be legal. So they'll teach you what is legal and what is not legal.
If somebody is intent on causing harm and damage and harm to the workers, you have to restrain them.
Very difficult people sometimes,
Right.
and they just
And they
They
haven't
have
had
a
any
way
staff.
with them.
They haven't
Not
had any
some-
staff
Well, I
injuries.
don't know because I'm not there all the time. I used to work with them a lot.
And his glass is broken. He's had his finger almost
Oh,
broken.
right. Yes, yes. And I mean, you know, you don't come to work to get damaged, do
Yeah.
you? No. You have to be able to protect yourself.
No, I remember the way they teach people and, you know, work with them so restraint isn't necessary.
Necessary.
Yeah.
Have you been here long?
Yeah, like on some days I've driven some service users to, you know, their house. You know, that usually happens. Not enough staff or
Yes,
enough players,
yeah.
so I sometimes help out as well.
Yeah.
Like driving service users to go.
Yeah, because when you're driving, are you on your own with them?
No.
No.
There's always somebody else.
There is
in
a
the
staff
house.
as
Oh, that's
well.
good. Also, yeah. Yeah.
There's a little spectrum. They can't sit down for a second. Their attention span is
Yes.
so short,
Yeah.
and they always have to damage.
Oh.
It's like that's all they think about.
I
They're
wonder
trying
how
to rip
their
your
parents
shirt.
cope at all.
I pity the parents sometimes. I have parents who call me sometimes. They just want to talk. We don't talk about the kids. They just need someone to talk to.
Some families, you know, it's more than one child.
Yeah.
It's like that as well. Having one is bad. Having two or
Two or three.
But do you think within families, children learn from one another and adopt those behaviours, although if they were in another single child family they might not? Or do
It's
they,
hard to say.
if you've got a family of 3 children, would they all be diagnosable in the same way or would they grow into it?
Families that have got 3 children that are autistic, the children are very individual and usually, you can tell as the baby is developing that's the way they're going to be. It's not
So
learned.
it is,
So there's a family of 4, and 2 of them are autistic.
Mhm.
And then somebody from that family marries another cousin. So it just
Yes.
goes around like
That's
that.
true.
Yeah.
So that is a familial.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
all diagnosed.
Yeah, sometimes the parents. I've got something that's very mild, and then intermarriages. isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, I
I'm
come
trying
from
to
Bradford,
think back
and they
to
have a
when
lot
I-
of problems there with a lot of things.
I don't know how much of their cohort of clients had autism, or you know, they had mental health problems, definitely. But it may be that they didn't have many in their cohort that were autistic. I mean, it's some years since I worked with them.
It details everything we do, the people we support, and the pictures of some of the rooms in here.
Yes.
Also has our website, address, telephone number. So this is what we use to advertise.
Which are the most popular rooms that your
The sensory
clients
room.
use?
The sensory room.
Oh, yes.
And the IT room.
Yes.
And they're
And our outreach as well.
Yes,
Outreach,
yes,
yeah,
going out,
yeah.
yes. Well, that must be a really valuable
Yeah.
service you give.
That's very good.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stand.